What up, card cooks? Connor from Table Salt MTG. Welcome to my face for the first time. I'm here to ask you, have you ever been running late to a pre-release and thought that you weren't going to be able to make it because you were running late and you didn't think you'd have enough time to build? Well, I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks in today's video about how to speed build with my 10 years of experience. I've done, I don't even know how many pre-releases, so that you can show up with like 10 minutes and build a sealed pool and still have fun. Table Salt MTG. Card cooks, here are my 6 steps for how to speed build during a pre-release. Number 1, have your draft kit ready, which I'll talk about a little bit more in greater detail in a little bit. If you forgot your draft kit or don't have one, don't worry about it. Save some time and sleeve up your cards after you've finished building, in between rounds. Number 2, pre-sorting. You want to open all of your packs, sort them by color, separate them, your rares out and your multicolors. It's important to do this because it'll help speed things up, and you don't want to waste too much time reading your cards. You want to make sure you open all your packs at once. Number 3, focus on your playables. You want to look at your rares. Is anything an absolute must play? If yes, then you focus on those colors. If not, then you kind of want to look at your multicolors, see if there's anything that shifts you towards that direction. And then you want to make sure if you have matching multicolors and a good rare, then you want to play that. You don't force a rare just because. You don't want to get stuck on a rare. You don't want to just say, oh, okay, yeah, let's do this. Once you've established your colors, try to stick to 2 colors. Only splash a card if it's really, really, really good or you're light on removal. And then just make sure you put away all the cards that once you eliminate a color, put it away. Don't think about it, because then you'll second guess yourself. Step 4, thin your playables in your color. Now that you're in a color, you can cut any cards you don't like or don't think are worth playing. You want to make sure you have about 12 to 15 creatures, and you want to play about 16 to 17 lands. So basically you want to fill in the rest with removal, enchantments, things of that nature. So usually you want to have about 8 to 11 non-land, non-creature spells. You always want to make sure that you have a few top-end creatures, i.e. like a 5-drop or higher, to help close out the game. You want to cut your slots in the curve so you don't end up with too many in your converted mana costs of 2, 3, 4, or 5. And you want to always make sure you have at least a minimum of 3 removal spells, and at least try to have 1 to 2 card draw spells. Step 5, you want to calculate mana. Easiest way to do this is to count all the pips or the actual mana symbols on all of your cards. And then whichever one has the most, usually this is just a simple method to lean in that direction. So if you have 15 blue pips and 10 red pips, then you'll have more blue mana than red mana. The last step is to sleeve it up. Once you've sleeved your cards, you're ready to go and have some fun. Hey card cooks, before we hop into the video, I want to talk about one thing that every good Magic player should have. Most of you are going to know what this is, but for those of you who don't, I want to talk about a draft kit. Every good Magic player should have this on them at all times, so you're always prepared. It's just a box with 10 of each color land sleeved and about 50, give or take, sleeves that are loose. So that way there, it helps take that stress off of having to go find lands, having to sleeve up your lands. It makes things, and it really helps with speed building. So let's hop into the video. Alright, card cooks, we're going to get started here with the pre-release kit. I've already laid out the steps for speed building before, but I'm going to go through 2 kits. I'm going to go through one a little bit slower, just so you can see the steps laid out on the table here, and then I'm going to go through one really fast. So let's get started with kit number 1. So I have step number 1, I have my draft kit ready to go. So like I said, I'm going to go a little bit slower through this one. I always like to not look at my promo, so we'll spoil that last. Alright, so I've got my 6 packs ready to go. We're going to crack them. We're going to open them all, and we're going to sort them by color, putting out the rares and the multicolors. So I'm not even going to really focus on the rares. I'll leave them up here so you can see them, but like I said, Otherwise, we'll put mana fixing up there, and artifact. We'll put artifacts over here, and we'll put the multicolors up there, and then we'll just sort them by color. So far, doing alright here. Ooh, a face feathers foiled and an animal sanctuary, unplayable, but we'll put it up there. Foil there, and there, with a token off to the side. Yeah, so this pre-sorting definitely helps speed things up really fast. A lot of people like go through their packs one at a time, kind of take their time, which is fun. And I understand why people do it, but if you're running late and you need to speed build, then there's no time to really kind of get fixated on one card. Alright. So far it looks like we're a little light on green. All the other colors seem to be more evenly split. Ooh, hey, cool mythic. There we go. Like I said, it's okay to get excited about a good card. Alright. Oh my god, look at that. Looks like the green's starting to fill out a little bit here. Alright, last pack. Then we're going to get to sorting. Ooh, Storming Eternity. Good, great card. Not experimental, so let's put the... let's keep going here. It's slowing down. Sorry, I just tapped my mic, so... hopefully that wasn't too loud. Alright, so... we've opened all the packs. I've pre-sorted them here by color. Just tidy up the piles real quick. Looks a little bit better on camera. Alright, so now we've got all our colors sorted there. So let's focus on the playables, number 3 here on the tutorial list. So we're going to look at the rares first. So we have 2 blue rares, both playable. A pretty good red rare that's also playable. So we've got, from the looks of it, only one unplayable rare. Looks like the blue kind of leans me towards blue. Red, this kind of pushes me towards red here. So let me actually get these a little bit better on camera so that I can focus. So Storming Eternity, Baron, Fiery Emancipation. Focus a little off there. There we go. Solemn Swimming Rackham, and Basari's Lieutenant. So Basari's Lieutenant is a really good card that would make me consider playing white, but right now I'm leaning more towards the blue and the red. So, next we're going to look at my uncommons. Now here we've got 2 Experimental Overloads, which is a really good card. So this would make me want to look at red and blue out the gate right away. So we're going to establish that. And like I said, don't be afraid to, not play rares if you don't have any good ones. Alright, now that we've established that we're going to be in red and blue, I think, or at least that's the way that we're leaning, I'm going to take a quick peek at my other colors, just scroll through them real quick, make sure that there's nothing crazy that's worth playing. Let me get the focus here. Playing in green here. So like if I don't have rares in the color and or multicolors in the color to push me towards it, then I'd try to look to see if there's anything in here that is like an absolute must play or like a really good top end card. Like really out of this whole pile, the only card that's really worth playing is this Hunter's Edge, really, right here, because it's a removal spell and maybe probably Thrashing Brontodon and maybe Ornery Dialopore. Otherwise, and then that's about it, really. Everything else is okay, but there's nothing crazy in here that's pushing me towards that color. So I'm just going to kind of put this off the side. Then we'll take another quick peek at the black here. So, like, so far, like, really this color, right, like, eliminates probably the only card that's really playable here. So I'll just keep focusing. And Grasp of Darkness. So I have 2 good removal spells, 2 Grasp of Darknesses. So what I would probably do here is just pull out the removal here, because that is really solid removal. So we're just going to put that off to the side here. All the rest of the stuff, really not playable. Don't even want to waste my time on it. So we know that we're not playing green, we're not playing black. We might splash black for the removal, because depending on how the removal goes with... so then let's take a look at white, because we have a Basri's Lieutenant. So we're going to scroll through real quick again, and... let's see, so nothing's really jumping off the page here at me, and we've got plenty of creatures, but there's nothing that's like an absolute must-play other than Face Fetters really here. Everything else, and maybe this Secure the Scene and Feat of Resistance, but everything else is like kind of suboptimal, nothing crazy. Like if I was in those colors or I had more removal in those colors, then maybe I would consider, oh, we do have 2 Secure the Scenes. Alright, so we're gonna just take out the removal here. So we're just going to put these 4 cards off to the side, right here, and then we know that we're probably not going to play white. There's really nothing here that's like, okay, yeah, if we had a better white rare or maybe some more uncommons, then we'd consider it. So we're just going to put those off to the side. So we know that we're probably not going to play white. We'll put Basri's Lieutenant here just in case, and we know we're definitely not playing this land, so we're going to put that off to the side. So focus again. So we know that we're in those colors. We're going to put the removal from the other 2 colors off to the side, and then we are going to look at our blue and see if it's playable. So now we know that since we have 2 experimental overloads, we are going to focus, come on, there you go. We're gonna need a lot of spells, so Reign over Revelation's great card, Ops great card, we got a Capture Sphere, which is a good card, got a Teferi's Tutelage, which is a great card, Unsubstantiate's great card. So we don't have a lot of creatures in this color, but we do have a lot of removal. So then we're going to take a look at the red and hope that we have a lot of creatures in this color. So we got a creature, creature. So we got plenty of creatures in this color and plenty of good spells in here with blue. So I'm thinking that probably what we would do is we looked at our rares, it shifted us towards red and blue. Then we looked at our uncommons that shifted us towards red and blue. We looked at the red and blue. We do have enough playables in the red and blue. And then the only thing that we can have to look at after the fact is whether or not we have enough removal in the red and blue, and or if we want to splash for it. I'm leaning towards if we were going to splash black. So I'm thinking I'm just going to put the white off to the side. It's okay, but it doesn't really help us out. So we're going to put that off to the side. Like I said, if you're not playing colors and or the cards, then just move them off to the side. So we have nothing here that's going to help us with our mana fixing, so we're going to put that off the side. So we're just going to put those away. I also forgot to show the promo here, 9 lives. That doesn't really shift me towards white either. It's a good card, but it's not one that's going to push me there. Although in foil, this is absolutely gorgeous. Now, someone told me, you can leave me in the comment section below, that every cat in here is a famous cat throughout the history of Magic. Johnny's Pridemates here, and a few others. So just let me know if you know all of them. Okay, now that we've established that we're going to probably play red and blue here, moving on to the next step. We're going to start thinning our playables. So I like to separate them by creatures. So we're going to put all the creatures in one pile. So like I said, we don't have a lot of creatures in blue, but we do have a good top end card there. So we're going to put those off to the side, and then we're going to pull out all the creatures from here. Alright. And we're going to put all these here. There's spells. And then we know that we have these 2 creatures as well. Alright. Oh, and we'll play Solemn Simulacrum. Okay, so we've got our creatures and our cards separated. So now we're going to start to thin the herd, as you will. So we're in step 4, thinning your playables. Alright, so we're going to lay out all our creatures here. I lay them out by converted mana cost, so that way there we can establish that. So make sure we have enough creature playables, which it looks like we're going to. So yeah, like I said, we want at least 12 to 15 creatures. Ideally, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we only have 12 creatures, but since we're playing 2 experimental overloads, we'll probably lean a little more heavily towards the spells. So looking at our creatures, there's really nothing to thin here because you really don't want to go lower than 12 creatures. So basically, we're going to play all of these. So we're going to just put these off to the side because we know we're playing all of them. I'm leaving the black removal just in case we don't have enough removal and we need to splash for removal. So we know that we only have 12 creatures and we're going to run 17 lands. So we could get away with 16 lands. So we're going to run about 11 spells. So we're going to lay out all the spells by their converted mana cost and enchantments. And then we'll actually thin the herd here. Let me focus on this area. There we go. So we probably won't be playing all of these. Obviously, we're going to be able to cut a lot of them, but we will go through that as we go here. So, all right. So, like I said, we're just going to lay them all out, and then we'll move to cutting cards after the fact. All right. Let me get them all a little bit better on camera here, so you can kind of see the curve. You want to make sure you don't get too heavy into one slot. Like right now, we have a lot of 4s, but they're all very playable. So. Alright, so now that we've got all of these sorted out by converted mana cost, we're going to thin the cards that we don't think we want to play. Alright, so I'm not a big fan of the Rookie Mistake here, so I'm just going to cut those cards, put them off to the side. We have a Turn to Slag, which is a good removal spell here, so we're definitely going to play that. Now, I mentioned earlier not to get stuck on Mythics. We don't really have any burn. We do have a lot of red creatures, and we do have Chandra's Magma, so that two of them, I do believe. So that is something to probably definitely consider. We also have a Turret Ogre, so we're probably going to play this even though we don't have a lot of burn. And then we have a card draw spell here. We have a removal spell there. This is really good for mill. We can kind of consider this a creature because it makes 2 bodies. We can kind of consider these creatures. So we're probably going to play all of these 4 slots. So that's a lot of 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I said we only want about 11. So we're going to look at our 3s and see if there's anything playable in the 3s. So Riddle Form. We do have a lot of non-creatures spells that we're going to be running. We're definitely not going to be playing Furious Rise. This is a sideboard card at best. We're not a go wide deck, so we can skip on this here. And then cancel. It's okay, but we can probably get away with that. Maybe bring it in on a sideboard. Brittle Form is a consideration, and then we have left over an Opt, a Thrill of Possibility, which is another card draw spell, and an Unsubstantiate. So Unsubstantiate's kind of like a pseudo removal spell. So we'll probably play that. Opt is pretty strong, solid, so I'm thinking we probably now have to figure out if we're going to cut any of our 4s. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 right here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we need to cut 2 cards. So we really got to figure out whether or not we want to run Fire Emancipation. Now, I did say not to get stuck on Mythics and Rares, so I'm going to say we don't play this, even though we only have, we do have some synergy. It is a 6 cost, and it's a little mana intensive, so we're going to cut that one. This is a pretty decent removal spell here, so we'll probably keep that. We're definitely keeping both of these. We know we're keeping that. So really, it's a question of if we want Reign of Revelation. Now, because we have Thrill of Possibility and Opt, and I said we usually want about 2 card draw spells, we can probably cut that. So that leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So we have 11 spells, 12 creatures, that's 23, and then we run 17 lands. So we are done thinning the herd. We're not going to end up playing the black, which does stink because this is a really solid black removal package, but it's not worth splashing another color, and we didn't really have any other black playables, so we're just going to put that off to the side. The only, like I said, the only reason I leave out the removal is just in case we need to splash it, but we've got plenty of good cards here. So all we really have left is Calculator Mana and sleeving up our cards. So we're going to count all the pips. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 blue pips. We got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have 15 blue pips, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, let me get the focus again. There we go. Sorry, I'm still working out the focus here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we know that we have 15 blue and 12. So we're probably going to lean a little more heavily towards the blue. So you're probably going to want to run, we'll say 9 blue and 8 mountains for lands. So I'm thinking that we are going to sleeve them up. Alright, so we're just going to pull out our land base here, and our sleeves, and pull them out. Good old Gideon. Thumbs up, guys. He's definitely a Chad. So, what we said, I'm probably going to go with 10 islands. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 7 mountains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, well, we don't need all 10, so we'll count that back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. And you don't need to watch me sleeve the cards, you know. So basically all you'd have to do is sleeve them up, shuffle, and you're ready to play. Alright, card cooks. Now, after filming the red-blue build there, I realized that we were getting a little bit long, so I decided to split this into 2 videos because I promised you 2 kits. One to go, just kind of go over the steps that I laid out, and then I just said the second kit, I was like, it's going to be a little too long, so we're going to do a second video, and that one's going to go a lot faster. So this is Conrad signing off from Table Solid MTG, and I'll talk to you in a little bit.